The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good morning, welcome to the 6th deadline stream of the season. I hope you're doing well on this Saturday morning. We are an hour and 22 minutes and 56 seconds away from the deadline. I have made no moves as it stands. My captain is currently Salah. That could change. I'm not really locked in at all. I'm a bit undecided. All this stuff going around in my head. I feel like had Haaland not scored a hat-trick and only got 2 goals maybe, would I have changed my plan from Salah captaincy? I'm not so sure, but there we go. That's where we're at right now. I guess there's still a slight chance that Haaland is benched, but I think he probably starts. And I might change it. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to make any transfers. I got a little bit spooked yesterday when people started posting the Ben Chilwell Instagram story where he said, ready for tomorrow. I don't know how often he posts that. Maybe he's starting. Could Cucurella still start? Possibly. I think I won't sell him unless we get some news that he's definitely not playing. So I'm probably just doing nothing this week, I think. I guess I'm still not completely I'm still not completely sure about the Game Week 9 wildcard, although I think that's probably what I'll do. I just don't know what move I'm making next week if I roll a transfer. I think that's my only issue right now. I like to be able to see the next transfer, and I don't see it next week. It could be Cancelo to Reece James, I guess. And by the way, yes, I am hating that I don't have Reece James. I think it could be a little bit of a knock-on from bringing in Gross, and I've got to just try and get past it because I feel like I'm going to be ruin that decision for a few more weeks. Unless he goes and smashes it this week, in which case, absolute hindsight, I'd be like saying it's a great pick. Great pick. Cucurella bench for Estupinian. I think if you think Cucurella starts, I think you probably just play him. But I guess that depends what you think, right? It's hard to know. At some point, Chilwell's going to get a start, but it's just whether or not Cucurella then plays left centre-back. The interesting thing is, a lot of people are saying, well, Thiago Silva can't play so many games in quick succession. But if you go and look at last season, he played a lot of games for his age. I know he's 1 year older now, but I don't think it's going to matter too much, to be honest. What if I wildcarded? No chance of my wildcarding this week. Not a chance. Also, anyone looking for early team news, I have none. I literally have no team news for you whatsoever, which is really funny because usually like Liverpool is a team that I get quite a lot. So to not have it when it's the first game of the game week is pretty funny, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Stephen, how's it going? Robertson to Trippier or hold? I think I'd hold it. Unless we find out Robertson's not starting, I think I would hold. I think Trippier's good this week, but it's West Ham away the week after. I think the Bournemouth at home game is the one you really want Trippier for, but that's like 2 game weeks time. So he's good this week, but I wouldn't... The only way I'd do Robertson Trippier is I had 2 free transfers and I was close to burning. I think that's the only way I would do it. Unless we get news he's out. Start Nico Williams or Martinelli. I feel like you've still got to start Martinelli. I think Nico Williams is one of those where, because the fixture's so good, everyone wants to start him. And for some teams, he's going to be worth starting. For others, he won't be. And I don't think I would start Nico Williams over Martinelli. I don't think. Like, it's at home against Bournemouth, so I fully get it, right? And his expected goal involvement numbers are really good so far. But they are the worst defence in the league. And before, I know like Nottingham Forest fans hate me saying that, but I'm going off expected goals conceded, right? That's how I determine who are the best defences. It's not just personal preference and stuff like that. And even if you take out the Man City game, they're still really, really bad so far. They might change that throughout the season, but right now, Nottingham Forest are the team to target. So it's one of those weird ones where Bournemouth are rubbish in attack, but Nottingham Forest are really bad in defence. So one of them is going to lose out. Either Nottingham Forest are going to finally get a clean sheet, or Bournemouth are going to finally score a couple of goals. I mean, they have... how many have they scored so far? I can't even remember now. I could be talking absolute rubbish. And Solanke's back. That might help. Have they not scored at all? They haven't scored at all. Oh, no, they scored twice, didn't they, against Villa? Yes, they won the Villa game, and then after that, it's been rubbish. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. So I think it's very difficult. I can't sit here and say you should or you shouldn't play Nico Williams because a lot of it's going to depend on the team, right? Reece James has dropped to 6 million. Had I got Perisic in, I could now reverse the move. Look, I made a mistake with Reece James. I made a mistake. I am not looking forward to today's game with Reece James not in my team. But I think I have to... Like, Cancelo to Reece James is still on my mind. But don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do it. It's tempting. It is tempting. It's very tempting. No, I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do it. Wasn't very happy on Twitter about the Forest expected goal. I know, but like I know people, like a lot of fans get really annoyed when you talk about their team. Right, they get very defensive. We've seen it with Newcastle already. But generally, a lot of my opinions are just based on data anyway, and like that's just objective, right? Doing James to Perisic cost me 5 points. Buying him back immediately. I know. But I can only buy the t-shirt sleeves on these are too small. Too much tan line going on here. But for me, it's Cancelo to Reece James. Oh, that's just such a horrible move to have to make. If any, I kind of wish they conceded to Nottingham Forest. I'd definitely be doing it right now. But I know that shouldn't change my opinion at all. But I just don't think I can do it. Play Nico and roll, or do Walker or Gabriel to James. Oof. I mean, you could probably play Nico Williams, I guess. You probably want Reece James next week as well, though. That's the only thing. Nico and rolling sounds pretty good to me. Edison to Pope, Perisic to a £3.9 million defender, Murphy to Sinistera for a -4. I'm going to say probably not. It's a lot of downgrades just to get Sinistera. I mean, if you've really got an inkling about him, fair enough. But I feel like for me, you got 2 free transfers. You could just do Perisic to a defender and roll, I think. Ask Jack and Jones for a sponsor. Absolutely, yeah. Jack and Jones, come on, sponsor me. I'm up for that. Charlie, thank you very much. Chintan, Rodrigo to Gross, or downgrade into Longstaff and upgrade Nico Williams to Trippier for a -4. Now, I wouldn't upgrade to Trippier for a -4. Not for a hit. Thoughts on Rashford to Sinistera? It could be okay. I feel like with Leeds, though, like Sinistera's only just back from injury, right? So they might manage him a little bit. He's probably not going to suddenly start playing 90 minutes week in, week out. He's played 20, 31, 63. So they're building him up. So he will, hopefully he gets 70 plus. The thing with Leeds, they're going into Brentford away, which is not necessarily super easy. Nottingham Forest at home is good. Then it's Man United away. I mean, Villa at home. Yeah, I think it's okay. But I think with Rashford, if I had him, I'd probably keep him. I don't know. Arsenal at home, Crystal Palace away is not that easy either. I'm just not sure about going for Sinistera, to be honest. I think it's okay. I think it's an okay move. I don't think it's bad. What's your views on Supermax being a Galway man? I mean, Supermax is fine. It's fine. What I would say about Supermax, I always feel like Ireland are going to hate me, right? I don't really like Guinness. I don't think Tato's are as good as Walker's. And Supermax, I'm trying to think if there's anything at Supermax that is better than everything at Burger King or McDonald's. And I don't think there is. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. I haven't missed your super chat. I'm just talking about Supermax. I think there's a chance that Chilwell starts, but I mean, the thing is, I think with Chilwell, like, he's one of those players where it's very easy every week now to just say, there's a chance he starts, there's a chance he starts, there's a chance he starts. So it's going to be the same now until it happens. It's just difficult to know, really. Yeah, garlic cheese chips, yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll give you that. Right, anyway, enough Supermax food. I'm sorry, Ireland. I love you. I love Ireland. I really do. Start Andreas midfield or Gabriel in defence. So I've got Gabriel first sub ahead of Andreas Pereira, but I'm thinking about switching that around. So I'll say Andreas. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to switch it around right now because I was on the dog walk earlier. And this is what I do when I walk the dog. I think about my FPL team. So I'm going to switch it around. If Gabriel gets a goal against us now and Cucurella misses out, I'm going to go mad. Start Saliba or Andreas Pereira? I guess that's a similar question to the Gabriel one, so I've just answered that. Got 0.6 million in the bank, thinking Ramsdale to Sanchez and or Perisic to Trippier. Have Ward, but I'm quite worried about Perisic. If you've got 2 free transfers, then Ramsdale to Sanchez and Perisic Trippier is okay. I wouldn't take a hit for it. My opinion on Ramsdale is I think he'll start. I think he will start. I think Arteta's maybe been a little bit cautious. It's Man United, but I think he's going to be fine. Start Cucurella or Andreas? That question is answered on the screen. Sinistera or Mitrovic on Wildcard? I mean, for me, it's Mitrovic by an absolute mile. Absolute mile. I mean, put it this way. People are bringing in Mitrovic with Spurs away, Chelsea at home, and I don't think it's necessarily a completely bad move. I'm not saying I don't think I would do it. I know he's putting up good numbers and he's fixture-proof and all this stuff, but those 2 fixtures would still worry me a little bit. But if I was Wildcard now, he'd be on it for sure. For sure. No, Perisic is not 100% out, but I think people are just thinking that he probably will be benched. That's all. I think Perisic's replacements are difficult because we looked at all the £5 million defenders, but if you haven't got Nico Williams, like, you could get him and then use the money like later on for a different move. Like with Cucurella, if he's out, then I was looking at Sessegnon as a very short-term punt, like this week only. Maybe going to Trippier as a good option for the next few weeks. But I could also go to Nico Williams. And by the way, I don't know if Cucurella is out. I'm probably going to keep him. But going to Nico Williams and having money later on could be helpful. I just, in some ways, like, it just annoys me when I can't see what the next move is. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I know, I was saying this to some people earlier, like, having 2 free transfers is really good, and it's good to be flexible. But I always like to know what I'm going to use them on the next week. And I can't see what my transfer is next week. And it's a bit of confusion about the wildcard and stuff as well. So I guess it's better just to have the 2 free transfers than not. Yeah. That's my only slight concern. Yeah, I'm going for Salah because I know he's going to start. And it's a good fixture. You could even argue it's slightly better than Villa, although Villa are playing really poor right now. And he's definitely going to start, and he's going to be on the pitch probably for another 90 minutes. I think I'll be honest with you, right? I'm even probably a little bit confused myself because now I'm conscious. Sorry, Let me start again. I'm aware that it's very easy to create narratives based on something you want to do, and now I'm not sure what I actually believe and what I'm making up. So, for example, right, if you said to me, yeah, but it's a derby, like Everton defence is bad, but it's a derby game, therefore it's going to be like tackles flying in, Lampard's going to, defend deep, he's going to really make it difficult, time waste. I'd be like, that is true, but do I actually believe that's what's going to happen? I'm not sure. I feel like with the Liverpool game, and again, maybe I'm just making this up now, I think the first 15 minutes are going to be really important. I think if they're going to come out all guns blazing, right? They're going to be absolutely going for it from the start, like they did against Bournemouth, right? I'm not saying Everton's as easy as Bournemouth for sure, but they have been pretty poor so far, I would say. At least that's what the numbers are showing. And I think if Liverpool can get a goal early, then they can get a few more. But I think if Everton can survive... I know it almost sounds like cliche, doesn't it? But if Everton can survive the first 15 minutes, I think they could then make it really tricky for Liverpool. So I don't know. I'm probably going to go for Salah because I know he's going to start. The thing is, I do think Haaland will start, but I am less sure this week than I was last week. And I didn't captain Haaland last week for his easiest fixture of the season. So should I now change my mind because he got a hat-trick against the worst defence in the league so far? Maybe not. So I'm back. That's why I'm back on Salah. But for what it's worth, there's a lot of other really great managers out there that are going for Haaland. There's a lot of other content creators out there that are going for Haaland. He's also kind of, at this point, the safer pick. His effective ownership is going to be really high. So if you're worried about, having your captain play and then being absolutely smashed in overall rank later on, then go for Haaland. But that is kind of like yesterday, I was thinking, right, I'm going to go for Haaland because I can then enjoy my weekend, right? Because if Salah does well, I still probably, to some extent, get like positive points from it. But also now I'm thinking that Salah's a differential, right? And yes, Haaland's brilliant and he probably will score against Aston Villa, but it is much more difficult for forwards to get those big scores. Like Haaland got 3 goals, 17 points. Salah only gets 2 assists, and 7 points is quite a big difference, to be fair, in 1 week. But I don't know. I feel like all Salah needs is a goal today, and it's probably going to be quite difficult for Haaland to like massively outscore him unless he gets another hat-trick, which I'm definitely not saying isn't possible. But that's probably why I'm on Salah. I think I think having Salah as a differential does not happen very often, and I think the fixture difficulty is more difficult for City this week. Right? I get it. Villa is a good fixture right now. They're playing really badly. I fully get it. They will definitely score against Aston Villa. I've got no doubts about that. But it isn't Nottingham Forest at home, right? So that's why I'm on Salah. But for what it's worth, Haaland's great. Just go for him. If you want to go for Haaland, you don't need to listen to me. I'm an idiot. I get things wrong all the time. I got it wrong last week. I may get it wrong this week. If you want to go for Haaland, go for Haaland. Honestly. Like it's not like Salah's playing Nottingham Forest at home and Haaland's against Arsenal away, right? And then I do think you definitely go Salah in that case. It is close. It is close this week. And I'm going to go for Salah. Lots and lots of really, really good managers are going to go for Haaland. And that's it. Like the quick turnaround as well. Obviously, it's Wednesday to Saturday afternoon kickoff for Salah. That might not be great either. But Haaland's only got a few extra hours before he plays. There we go. Everton very poor going forward. You're not tempted to captain Trent. Not in the slightest, to be honest. I say this every week, right? I'm never going to be tempted to captain Trent unless Salah's injured. That's it. If Trent's got a good fixture, so does Salah. So I'm always going to go Salah. I'm not mentioning Kane because I don't own him. Like, people are asking me who my captain is. I don't own Kane, so Haaland was rubbish versus Bournemouth. I wouldn't say like again. We go back to that. If Foden squares the ball to Haaland, he scores, and the happy days, right? And maybe people have started talking about permanently captaining back then. Well, I don't want to put a percentage on Haaland being benched. Okay, maybe I will. I don't know. I would say I'm probably 70-30 in favour of him starting. Like, I do think he's going to start, but we're just basing it on what Pep said, right? And the funny thing is, when I said to people, well, hang on, Pep said that when the games come every 3 days, Haaland will not play. People were like, what are you on about? He's 22. Now Pep's come out and said his recovery is really great. He's 22, not 32. Now people are saying, oh, hold on a minute. Pep's going to bench him. So, like, what can you do? People just think the opposite of what Pep says. So I'm going to say at least 70-30 for Haaland. It could be higher, to be honest. Thinking game week 12 wildcard, I have James, Cancelo, Cucurella and Trent. Already used my transfer. Would you do Perisic to Nico Williams or Trippier for a -4? No, not if you can bench Perisic. As if the guys all the time. I will answer super chats as soon as I can, but it's not the case that they get posted. I'm instantly going to stop what I'm talking about, right? And I've always said that it's not a new thing. So I obviously appreciate them, I really do. But I'm not going to stop what I'm talking about just to suddenly answer the next super chat that comes in. So that's always been the same. That hasn't changed. So I'll get to them as soon as I can. All right? I promise. I promise. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with predictions, right? Most people are going to predict that Haaland starts because that's the most obvious thing to predict. Nobody predicted De Bruyne being benched last week, right? So predictions are difficult, especially for Man City. Like, how many times over the last few seasons have we talked about Pep rotation, right? And now all of a sudden we're assuming that Haaland starts every game because he's come off a few times. Pep is really big into rhythm and stuff like that. But again, it's like last week. Here's the funny thing, right? Everyone was so confident about Haaland starting, but when the team sheet was about to come out, people were in a panic, right? And it's going to be the same this week. People are going to be worried later on. No matter how much you think he's definitely going to start, there will be some panic. Whereas I think with Salah, we just don't have that. It would be very funny if Salah gets benched, I got to be honest. But I don't think that's very likely. And also, one thing I will say to kind of counter all my points about Haaland, I do think that Pep is just trying to set expectations to not... He doesn't want the media to start putting Haaland above where Haaland's already at the top, right? But he's just trying to minimise expectations, right? He's not necessarily going to play every game. He's not necessarily going to play every minute. He's not always going to score. He's just trying to keep things down because he's still young, right? As good as we all know he is, he's just trying to kind of limit the expectations that people have on him, right? Because he's still only 22. So it could be that he just starts again and he might blank. He could start and blank. He could bench and haul, right? You just don't know. So I'm on Salah. Okay, I'll do a poll. Then I'll get some more of these super chats, right? Your captain as it stands. I mean, I'll tell you now, this is going to be massively Haaland. Haaland, Kane, someone else. I think that's the main three, right? Haaland, Salah. So I'll put that up now. Ben, thank you. Randomus, Perisic and Rodrigo to Diaz and a 3.9 defender due to no funds, or is there a better Rodrigo replacement? I don't know if I would go down to 3.9. Also, Diaz, it might not be the best time to bring in Diaz, right? Jota's going to be back soon. I think he's okay for the next 2 game weeks. Then it's Chelsea away. Then minutes could be a slight issue. For what it's worth, I still think that Diaz is first choice. He's going to start more often than not, but his minutes during games might be reduced. He might get the odd benching. So I don't know if now is the best time to bring in Diaz, to be honest with you. So you could just go Perisic to someone else and upgrade Rodrigo to, I don't know, Martinelli or Gross or Trossard, someone like that maybe instead. If you really want to get rid of Perisic this week. This is the first time this year being split between 2 captain choices. It's literally 50-50. I got to be honest, I think last week was hard, for me anyway. For a lot of you, it wouldn't have been, right? Because he was playing Nottingham Forest, and that's absolutely fair enough. As I tweeted, like, you're going to always look like an idiot if you don't captain Haaland against Nottingham Forest, and he absolutely scores. I can't believe this is the week we don't have Liverpool team news, by the way. How is this the week? Wildcard with Haaland, Kane, Isak, Trent, James, Perisic, Trippier, Cancelo, or just keep Salah, Kane, Saka, Bailey, no James, Haaland. Can you not? But the thing is, you can get Haaland in by swapping Kane. I assume you're trying to... Oh, yeah, you could just keep Kane... If you really want to keep Kane for this week against Fulham at home, I don't think it's completely... It's not crazy, right? People in hindsight are going to... Well, maybe they'll tell you now as well. But after the game week finishes, if Haaland outscores Kane again, people will tell you you're crazy. But I do not think it's crazy to keep Kane for Fulham at home instead of going to Haaland. It's not crazy. I'm not saying I definitely wouldn't do it. But I think you can make a case to keep him for this week only. And then you could move him on. So you could do Kane to Haaland next week. There's probably a way you could get Reece James back. I don't know if you need a wild card. Here's the thing. The overall thing with wild card is there's not going to be many weeks where you need a wild card, right? I'm pretty sure if I put my mind to it, I could probably play through game weeks 8, 9, and 10 without wild carding. But that's going to be the same all the way up to game week 16. So you don't need one now, probably, but you could use it if you really wanted to. Or you could just save it for a couple more weeks. Keep Kane for this week and get Haaland in the week after. It's going to be... I do think the situation for Kane owners is very tricky, and I feel quite happy that I'm not in the same position, because I think it's very easy to keep him this week ahead of getting Haaland in, but if it goes wrong, you're going to feel like really bad that you did that, and then when you get to next week, they're playing each other, so there's going to be that kind of, well, maybe I should just keep Kane on the counter against Man City away, could be okay, and then Haaland outscores him again. So if I was I think it's very difficult, by the way, to say what you would do, because I think when you're in the situation, it's not as easy. I think you panic a bit more. But I would like to think if I had Kane this week and I'd held him this long and I'd already missed all the price changes, that I would keep him for Fulham at home and not go for Haaland. But it's very difficult to not do that, I've got to be honest. Who to start? Trippier, Nico Williams or Sinistera? Oh. I'm going to say Nico Williams, I think. I don't know. I mean, Sinistera is good. I don't like benching attackers, though. You know me. I don't like bench. I think I would probably play Sinistera, but I would not be happy that I have to bench Trippier and Nico Williams. I just hate benching attackers. Like, obviously, with this kind of setup where your attacker is Andreas Pereira and Greenwood, it's like a lot easier. I've set up to not play them. But when they're in your team, I just don't like it. Just don't like it. Here's what I really want to happen today. Salah to score, and then to get a penalty in the 95th minute and put it away. 2 goals, I'd take that. I'd take that ahead of Haaland later on. I have a full Nottingham Forest bench. Ouch. Nico, Colback and Taylor. Should I bench boost? No. I mean, Taylor and Colback won't even necessarily get you minutes, right? I don't think Taylor's been playing that much. I mean, he dropped in price the other day. The thing is, yeah, he's literally played 0 minutes so far this season, and Colback has also played. He played 90 and 21, the 91st game, but they got so many players now. He's probably not going to get back in. So no, you should definitely not bench boost. Yeah, I've talked about captaincy quite a lot. I can't keep repeating myself. Essentially, I think Salah definitely starts, and he's a differential for once this week. That's kind of the main reasons I'm going for him. But for what it's worth, Haaland's a great captain, and I know what my comment section and my mentions are going to be if Haaland outscores him again. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but these things happen. Don't think we're going to get Liverpool news. What are your thoughts on Walker's minutes going forward, given that he's played every minute so far? I mean, I think with all the matches that are coming up, and because it's Man City, he will get benched at some point, right? I think most of us agree that could happen. It could be this week. But I think his minutes will be good enough going forward that he's worth keeping. I just don't think this Gomez guy is going to play regularly yet. Could happen at some point if he impresses, of course. This is Pep Guardiola. But they've got a few injuries around. I just don't think Walker's going to miss too many minutes right now. It's not possible to check Salah's effective ownership until later on when the game's finished. I mean, people can probably give you a rough estimate. I mean, you can see from the poll, right? Haaland's 55%, Salah's 36%. So Haaland will be the main captain again this week, for sure. 100%. Don't change your captain based on what I'm saying, right? I'm not. I think some weeks, like, I'm confident. When Salah had Bournemouth at home, there was no way I was even considering Haaland against Palace. This week, I'm close. I could change it. Like, it's very scary what Haaland has done. I put a tweet up earlier. I thought I had a message about Liverpool then, but no. What was I saying? I put up a tweet earlier about how much expected goals, non-penalty, that Haaland's produced, and he played 68 minutes against Nottingham Forest and put up 2.1 expected goals. That is mental. He is brilliant. It's scary how many goals he's going to score this season. But it's also worth remembering, Salah's a midfielder. All this stuff we talked about loads before. Salah's a midfielder, extra point for a goal, extra point for a clean sheet. It's much easier for a midfielder to get big points than it is a forward. Obviously, if you score hat-tricks every week, then you're probably okay. And I don't know how to break this to you. He's probably not going to score hat-tricks every single week for the rest of the season. I don't know who needs to hear that, but there you go. Is it worth a -4 for Perisic to James? Do you need -4? Probably not. I don't know about -4s for James. I mean, he is great. He is absolutely fantastic, but I don't know if I would take a -4. Haaland or Kane captain? If you're feeling really ballsy, go for Kane captain, right? It's Fulham at home. It's a pretty good fixture. I mean, we should also stay. I guess there is a slight chance that Kane could get benched as well, but I don't think that's very likely to happen at all. So I'm going to say, the thing is, it's so hard for me to sit here and tell people to keep and captain Kane when I've got Haaland in my team and I think he could absolutely smash it again. But Fulham at home is just such a good fixture, and it's not like Kane has done badly. It's just that Haaland's been an absolute monster. So I say Kane captain over Haaland. It's scary to do that though. Haaland might not get lots of rest because he'll have 6 weeks off during the World Cup. I don't think that really matters as much as you think though, because it's all about how much they get loaded, right? They're not thinking you can play this many minutes because later on you can get a rest. They're constantly checking recovery, fitness levels and stuff like that. So they'll play a game, they'll see how many minutes they've played, then during the week they'll get tested loads for recovery. And some players just recover better than others. And obviously, as Pep said, he's 22, right? So he should be fine. But they're not going to be thinking he's getting loads of rest. Maybe closer to the time they will, but right now, there's still a couple of months till that happens. The only question for the medical staff and stuff like that, and I'm not an expert on this, but the only real question is, has he recovered enough to play again? If he has, how many minutes can he play? And that's it. It doesn't really matter about the World Cup, I don't think. Mason Mount replacements. Who are you looking at? I mean, there's loads of options. Gross, Trossard, probably not Rashford. If you've got money, you could go to if you've got the money, you could go to Saka. Maybe not great this week, but from next week it could be good. You could downgrade and put that money up front instead to Mitrovic or Tony if you've got enough money. Who are you looking at? You think Bednarak starts for Villa? If so, he surely gets 9-0'd for a third time in his career. Oh man, yeah, I wouldn't like to even imagine that happening as a non-Haaland captainer. Is it crazy to think about bench boosting on a single game week? I would say no, but I'd be surprised if most people have got a bench this week that's worth going for. Captain between Haaland, De Bruyne or Jesus? No Salah. Haaland. Well, the thing is, some people are going to go for De Bruyne because he's I would say he's almost guaranteed to play, right? Because he got benched the last game. But I think I'd still go for Haaland over De Bruyne. I still think it's quite scary what he can do in a very limited time. Rodrigo to Gross, Zaha and Cucurella to Trippier. I have Reece James and Cancelo already, plus 2 free transfers. Rodrigo to Gross, Zaha sounds good. I think I'd go Gross if it was a short-term move. Maybe Zaha if it was a bit longer-term thinking. Cucurella to Trippier you could do, but I think unless we know Cucurella is out, I think we have to assume he probably starts again. So I don't know if you need to really do that. But it's okay with 2 free transfers. Mbeumo to Isak or roll and just play Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo is going to be predicted to start again, right? Unless I've missed something. Yeah, I mean it's Leeds at home. I would probably just play Mbeumo and roll, and maybe do Mbeumo to Isak next week if you need to. Interview with Pep on Sky Sports News. Pep said he'll try to score goals tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure he'll try to score goals in every game, right? Look, all I can say on Haaland is I think he probably starts. I can't be 100%. I can't say any more than that, right? All I can tell you is I'm 100% sure he'll start against Spurs. That's about it, though. Would you start Rashford or Martinelli for this one? Rashford's at home. I think it's pretty close. I think the thing is, I think Arsenal attack is just better right now than Man United. I think there's signs there that Man United could be decent at some point this season under Ten Hag, but I don't know about right now. I'd probably play Martinelli, I think. Rashford's at home, though. Rashford at home, on the counter. Could it happen? I'll say Martinelli, though. Which one of Estupiñán, Perisic or Fofana? I'd play Estupiñán this week, I think. Mario, thank you for becoming a member. Would you play Johnny or Pontus Jansson this week? Brentford against Leeds at home. Wolves have got... Who have Wolves got? Southampton at home. I feel like Johnny... I'd probably start Johnny, I think. Although, the only problem is with Johnny is he definitely going to start? With Janssen, I think you're almost... I'd say Janssen, just to be guaranteed for the start. I think Johnny probably will start, but Ain't Yuri could come in, right? Semedo on the right, for sure. Yeah, I think you have to go for Martinelli over Rashford, but I can picture Rashford scoring a goal on a counter, transition from defence straight into attack, Rashford in behind that defence, goes round Turner because Ramsdale's a bit... No, I'm only messing. I'm only winding you up now. Football player, thank you very much. Lucas, Perisic and Rashford to Gross and James. They sound like good moves as long as it's not for a hit. De Bruyne and Archer to Andreas and Haaland for a -4. De Bruyne out when you know he's going to start against Aston Villa for a -4, but it's for Haaland. For a -4 for De Bruyne. I feel like I've got to say no. I feel like you shouldn't do that. I feel like De Bruyne and Kane owners that don't have Haaland, they almost have to just hope this week goes well and hold, and then do the move next week. I think so. I think that's the right move. Again, it's just one of those. If it's just one of those that if Haaland does really well again, you're going to feel like such an idiot that you didn't make the move because it's going to have looked so obvious. But I think right now, the decision for De Bruyne and Kane owners is probably to hold because I think they're both very likely to start. De Bruyne for sure, and pretty much Kane for sure as well. Jack, thank you for becoming a member. Oh, Lucas already did that one. Robertson to James, Rodrigo to Zaha for a -4. Probably not. I think if you've already wildcarded, you could make that as like a long-term move. And like Robertson to James is okay, but I think Robertson probably starts today. But the problem is I don't know. And I don't know if we've had any early team news. Like I'm looking on Twitter, I haven't seen anything so far. I would assume that Reece James is going to play, yes. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. If we get early team news that Robertson is rested for Simicast, would you take him out for a hit or just play Andreas off the bench? I mean, next week is Wolves at home, innit? So I'd probably just play Andreas off the bench. But I guess it depends who's coming in for you. Like, if it's like an upgrade that's going to be good for this week and the next few weeks, I'd maybe take the hit. But otherwise, I'd just play Andreas. If you don't have Salah, are Sterling or James viable captain options this week? I think Sterling's okay, yeah. I mean, Reece James is alright. I'd probably go for Sterling. But I don't know if they're the best options compared to what everyone else is going to be going for. 2 free transfers, Rodrigo and Nico Williams to Gross and Veltman. Or Rodrigo and Perisic. I'd probably say Rodrigo and Perisic out. I don't know, I think if you're gonna upgrade Nico Williams, you should be sure that you're not going to need that money somewhere else because he's like selling him before Bournemouth at home. It's not that there's going to be some situations where that's an okay move, but for a lot of people, it's not going to be a good move, right? You're taking money out of your bench. You're putting money onto your bench because Nico Williams usually doesn't play. So I'll be very careful about taking him out this week. You need to be sure that 1, the defender coming in is better, and 2, that you're not going to need that money for a different move. For what it's worth, for people looking at Robertson to James, I think it's a perfectly okay move. I think Robertson owners just like... My general feeling with Robertson owners is they really want to get rid of him. But they just need an excuse to do it, and that's why every week that seems to be the main problem with the Liverpool early team news is that Robertson keeps playing, so people haven't got that excuse to sell. If you want to sell him, sell him. I don't necessarily think he's a must sell unless we find out he's definitely not starting. But like Robertson to James is probably okay, yeah. But like if you've only got one free transfer, would you be better off keeping Robertson and having 2 next week? Quite possibly. And look, I'm not saying there's no chance that Tsimikas doesn't play, but I don't know any more than that, like, to be honest with you. I'm just saying he could play. I'm not saying he will play. Perisic to James, Robertson to Trippier, and Saka to Sterling for a -4 hit, or just do the Perisic to James for free. I mean, yeah, I would either do one or both of the defender moves. I wouldn't do Saka to Sterling for a hit, I don't think. I think the thing with Sterling is he is a nice differential, so I can see why you're looking at it. And obviously you get Fulham next week, although it is an away game. I don't completely hate it, but I just don't think Sterling's going to be a captain for us anytime soon, so that kind of takes a little bit of the shine off the move. So I'd probably just do 1 or 2 of the defender moves for Danny. Joshua, thank you. Starman, Cucurella Saliba for James, Nico, Estupinian for free. Yeah, I mean, you could just do one of them. You could just do Saliba to James for free and just keep Cucurella, especially if you've got a good bench. I guess if Cucurella doesn't start, there is a good chance he probably comes off the bench, especially if Chilwell has played. Well, it will be Chilwell, right? So Chilwell's not going to make 90 minutes. So Cucurella will come off the bench. So I guess that's a little bit of an issue, but he could also start. So I'd probably just do Saliba to James. Thoughts on James captain, not Salah because of early kickoff jinx. Can I just say, right, the early kickoff thing is such a load of rubbish. I feel like it is. Okay, you do get a little bit less rest. I get that. But can we just look at the fact that Salah... Did he not play early kickoff the first game of the season? Oh, he didn't. Oh, yeah, sorry, okay. So it wasn't the first game of the game week, but he literally played at 12:30 against Fulham on the opening day of the season and got a goal and an assist. Yeah, look, James captain is always going to be okay, but I think Haaland, Salah, Kane are all better. So if you've got one of them, I'd probably go for them instead. I mean, if you don't have one of them, then maybe you're starting to look at players like James, but I would suggest there's probably better players in your team to captain. Like, you know, your £8 million midfielders, maybe Luis Diaz, for example. Depends who you got, I guess. First game week's the exception, of course. Of course it is, yeah. Look, don't get me wrong, the turnaround time from Wednesday to Saturday, early kickoff is not great, but what is the early kickoff is not a curse. People just don't like it when their captain blanks in the first game. And I get it, right? If Salah blanks, I'm going to be thinking, Christ, I've got to wait till Man City now later. So I do get it, but it's more of a psychological thing than an actual, you know, issue with players not doing well. Kulusevski, Perisic, and Cucurella, all rotation risks. Yeah, I have 2 free transfers. Could get any Brighton defender, Trippier or James? I think James would be top of my list. I think I'd maybe get Zaha to get ahead of Diaz. It depends how long. I wouldn't sell Kulusevski this week for what it's worth. So I'd maybe just make the defender transfers if you want. But I wouldn't sell Kulusevski this week. I don't think. Fulham at home, good chance he starts. I'll be holding him. I have Jesus, Saka, and Martinelli. Don't want triple Arsenal attack. Who should I transfer out? I mean, if you have to transfer out one, it would probably be Saka. Right, Jesus is really a really good forward option. There is quite a few options this year, but he's a really good forward option. Martinelli's cheap, so if I had to, it'd be Saka, but I don't think I would sell him. I'm free hitting, don't want Man United, Arsenal, key players. I mean, triple City, probably triple Liverpool this week. So Salah, the usual suspects. Salah, Trent, De Bruyne is a differential, Haaland, Spurs players. Sessegnon would be really nice on a free hit this week. If I was free hitting, I would definitely have Sessegnon on it. Because he's just a nice differential that you can be more than 50% sure will start. Not 100%, but you could. Oh, Kukurea has put up an Instagram post. Someone's just, but he hasn't said, I'm ready. So who knows if he's going to play? Does that matter now? Do players have to say, I am ready on Instagram before we know they're going to start? There's a lot of people watching. I'm sure a lot of you are only here for any team news. I'm promising you right now I've had none. Although we still got 41 minutes to the deadline. I forgot we started so early. Walker start. Should I get someone else? I'd probably just... The thing is, like, Walker may or may not start today, but I would still probably keep him long term. So I'd probably just hold him. Who to bench? Ward-Prowse, Gross, or Perisic? I mean, it's probably Perisic this week, right? Southampton are playing Wolves away. I mean, I probably Perisic, but only because I don't think he's going to start. It's risky, though. The thing is, Perisic will come on if he doesn't start. That's what's annoying about him. So, yeah, I feel like telling people to bench Perisic against Fulham could end in disaster, but I just don't think he's going to start. So I'll say Perisic. Would you do Zinchenko to Nico Williams to fund Rodrigo to Gundogan? I would. I mean, I think Zinchenko to Nico Williams is a pretty good move. I guess there's a good chance Gundogan starts. So yeah, Rodrigo to Gundogan, nice little differential, yeah. Captain Kane over Salah. I think you could make a case that Kane is a slightly better captain than Salah. I'd probably still slightly lean towards Salah, but Kane at home to Fulham, if you're going to do it, this is the time, right? Bacon Butty versus Sausage Butty for captain. Absolutely sausage by a long way as well, I think. Clean as. Thank you, by the way. I saw that comment. Yeah, sausage over bacon. Well, I've been getting back into a few bacon sandwiches recently. I think for a while I was just off them for a bit, but I'm back on now. Sausage though by a long way, I would say. Depends which ones, of course. I feel like with bacon you can hardly go wrong. With sausage maybe you can sometimes, but yeah. Anyway, just like the Supermax conversation, let's move on. That's great, because in the chat I've just read a question that's I've just read a comment that says your deadline stream UI looks really clean, loves it. And now there's a super chat that says, on a different topic, your screen looks very crowded. You should reduce the size of the 4 visuals above you and also the 2 on the extreme right. Fair enough. But the thing is, you can't really make up too much more screen space. I think there's a lot going on, but I think it's kind of helpful, hopefully. Start Tony or Sancho. I think you've got to play Tony against Leeds at home, I think. Lewis, never back the early kickoff, yeah. Mendy replacement. I already have 3 City players. If I keep Mendy, I'll have 3 Chelsea defenders. It's late, but congratulations on getting married. Thank you very much. If you're going to sell Mendy, then it's probably to Pope or Sanchez. I like Sanchez over the next 3, but I don't think you have to get rid of Mendy. I know, like, 3 Chelsea defenders, I get it, right? The way they've been playing, not great, but in isolation, is Mendy okay over the next 2 compared to Pope or Sanchez? He probably is. But if you want to get rid of him, who would I buy out of Sanchez and Pope? I think next 3, Brighton just. So I'll say next. If you're going to wildcard in Game Week 9, I'm going to say Sanchez. Start Neto or Kyle Walker. Have Ruben Diaz. Oh, Neto, man. And by the way, thanks for being a member for 12 months. Oh, Neto, man. We can't start Neto again, surely. He's going to score at some point, but I think I'd play Kyle Walker. My only hope with Walker is if he doesn't start, he won't come on. Maybe. Then again, Cancelo got arrested last game, so you never know. He could come on for Cancelo at some point. I'm going to say Walker over Neto. Am I set on Salah? I think I kind of am. I'm not saying it won't change, but I don't feel panicked about it. Like with Reece James, I was like, oh, what will I do with him? What will I do? I've got this idea. I'm going to sell him. Salah, I'm kind of feeling okay, really. I think. Could go wrong, though. I think in my best ever season, right, I decided it was a big thing for me. Like, it was easy because Salah was captain most weeks, like he has been for me so far this season. But I decided my captains in advance, and I didn't let what happened the weeks before sway my kind of thinking. So I remember taking out Fernandes at one point. No one was happy with that, but I went ahead with it. Captain De Bruyne at one point as well, I think against Southampton maybe. I can't remember now. Maybe it was Fernandes to De Bruyne. But I feel like Salah was my plan before Haaland scored a hat-trick against Nottingham Forest. So should that change my mind? Maybe it should, right? Maybe Man City are just finding Haaland more often now. But that is also the worst defence in the league so far this season. So I'm probably going to stick with Salah, I think. I'm not sat here pretending it can't change, right? In 36 minutes, something could happen. I'll change my mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's my team, 10:59. I might change it to Haaland. I don't know. But right now, I'm feeling kind of okay about Salah, to be honest. And he's probably going to be my captain next week as well. I think if I'm looking at fixtures, right, roughly, probably Salah this week, Salah next week against Wolves at home instead of... I mean, Haaland at home to Spurs could do well, but I'll probably go Salah again. Game week 8 is Salah against Chelsea away, so I probably won't captain him. I'll probably go Haaland against Wolves if he's likely to play. I guess there is a chance that I try and bring in Kane for Leicester at home, but I'd probably just captain Haaland. Game week 9 is Haaland against Man United. Obviously, that's a really tough game now, as we know. Liverpool against Brighton. So again, it might be that I go Salah captain that week as well. And then game week 10 is Haaland versus Brighton away. And Salah has got... Where is Salah? Arsenal away. So that is a bit trickier. Oh, no, sorry. That's Spurs away to Brighton. Yeah, Haaland's got Southampton at home. So I'll captain Haaland then. So I think from now until game week 10, I might captain Haaland twice. Well, that's what I'm saying right now. I'll tell you now, he gets another hat-trick against Aston Villa, I'm captaining Haaland against Spurs. Right? I shouldn't let results affect me, but if he gets a triple hat-trick, I don't care. I'm captaining him for the rest of the season. I said that after the last game. Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks Salah's finished. But look, all that will happen... I'll tell you now exactly what will happen, right? If this happens, this is what will happen, right? So let's say Salah outscores Haaland this week, and it's by a good margin. So let's say Salah gets 2 goals and an assist. Haaland maybe gets 1 goal whether he starts or finishes. Then we'll get to game week 7, and people will say... Yeah, Haaland is good, but actually maybe like he's not the best option, and maybe Salah actually looks pretty good now, and Liverpool playing a little bit better. Then the narratives will start, right? And the reality is, it just so happens that Salah has outscored Haaland in one of the games, and next week it could be different. So the narratives change really quickly. So everyone's saying that Salah's finished. He scores a couple of goals this week. Narrative changes straight away. Oh, he's back now. Maybe we should think about permanently captaining him. And that's how quickly people's minds get changed. So I try not to think about how everyone else is kind of looking at it. I am very tempted to go for Haaland this week. But as it stands, right now, we are on Salah. And I think it's going to stick. I'm not looking forward to the Everton game, though. I am worried. I'll tell you that now. I am very worried. Still no Liverpool team news. I know there's people watching just for the team news. There's none. I'm telling you now. 0. If anyone's watching and you know what the Chelsea team is, or you know what the Man City team is, or you know what the Liverpool team is, make sure to message me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll check right now. I won't believe you unless you're a legit source, though. And I won't even mention it on stream unless it's like looking legit either. If Salah blanks, would you consider a Salah-less wildcard? I would look at Salah-less wildcard anyway, depending on whether he captains. But I'm not going to let a blank dictate what I do going forward. Like, in terms of owning him, it might mean I captain Haaland. And by the way, I've just realised I've coughed without muting the mic. I do apologise for that. Would you captain James, have De Bruyne or Haaland? No, I wouldn't captain James over either of them. Thoughts on Gundogan for a short-term wildcard game week 8 or 9? Yeah, short-term, I think he's good. I think, look, Man City midfielders, there's every chance he could get benched, right? Bernardo Silva could play 8 alongside De Bruyne. They could play someone else on the right, and then Gundogan gets taken out. That's the risk you take with Man City players. But if you want to go for him as a short-term punt, it's pretty good. Did Spion Cop give any indication he might have team news? Yeah, they might get it. But the thing is, they usually get it... They usually get it the same time that Rockstar gets it, because they basically get it off the media. There's like a thing that the media have. They have a login and it shows them the team news 15 minutes before we get it. But that is obviously after the deadline now, which is why FPL changed the deadline. So you need someone that's got like a better source than that. It says. yeah. Oh, of course, now we got random people giving me messages, which I will just ignore and mute. I have Nico and Perisic nothing in the bank, 1 free transfer. Worried about Perisic being benched. Start Nico and Rice. Yeah, you can start Nico Williams for sure. I wouldn't do Perisic to Trippier to bench Nico Williams. I would just play Nico Williams. He's a good option this week. The thing is, I know I've said that Nottingham Forest is the worst defence so far this season. Like, I'm going to check now, but I'm going to assume that Bournemouth have been one of the worst attacks. They have had really bad fixtures, Bournemouth. That is worth saying. But I presume they've been the worst attack. Yes. Oh my God, by a long way. Like 0.36 expected goals per 90. That is freaking awful. That is so, so bad. Even for the fixtures they've got, I feel like that's really bad. But look, something's happening. Either Bournemouth are scoring or Nottingham Forest are finally keeping a clean sheet. Do 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 do. Will Fofana start? My assumption is he probably will, but I don't know that for sure. I'd say there's a good chance. Did Bailey to McAllister as exciting as it gets? Wow, that is exciting, Chris. That is exciting. We might be about to get Liverpool news. I see typing. Oh no, it's gone now. Might not even have news. How does it sound on a wild card? Henderson, I'm not sure about, to be honest, but I guess he's okay. I just feel like the saves and bonus points are not going to continue. Probably they're going to just keep conceding lots of goals. Henderson, Trent, James, Perisic, Walker, Zaha, Salah, Martinelli, Haaland, Isak, Jesus, Bench, Nico, Andreas, Longstaff. Any suggestions? So I'll be honest, I've not looked at what a wildcard should look like at all this week. So I don't even know. I've not really put any thought into it. I don't think I would have Perisic on a wildcard. I would just be too worried now about constant rotation with all the fixtures they got coming up. I think he's first choice for sure. And when Conte can play him, he will. But he's going to miss some matches. So that's my only thinking, really. I think the rest of the team looks pretty good. But I have to be honest, I've not looked at a wildcard team at all this week. Not getting news. For anyone that's still waiting for the Liverpool stuff, it's basically just been told it ain't happening. Probably not happening anyway. Yeah, nothing so far. If we get it before the deadline, they'll message me. So the so yeah, basically. But it basically said if they get news before the deadline, they'll let me know. Then they said I'm on Haaland captain, can't captain in the first game of the game week. So there you go, Sell Walker and Patterson for Dallo and Nico going forward. Nah, if you can afford it, I would just do Patterson to Nico and leave Walker in there. I wouldn't go to Dallo. I think Dallo has looked good, and he's very good for bonus from what we've seen so far. Man United defence is improved for sure. I don't really think the fixtures are that fantastic, so I'd probably just keep Walker. I don't want the Liverpool team news to know about Salah. Of course we know he's going to start. People are just more concerned about like Nunez or Robertson and players like that. Would I play Cucurella or Dunk? Oh, I don't know. I've got slight doubts about Cucurella this week, so I'd probably say Dunk, but I wouldn't be able to be 100% sure. I could do with Salah, like someone saying there, get the captaincy off Salah. I gotta be honest, I could do with a Salah goal within the first 10 minutes just to calm the nerves a little bit, you know. James to Trippier, Reed to Gross. No, I would not be selling Reece James this week. Like, Trippier's a good option, but I don't think you need to like panic about getting him in. Is my captain locked? Probably, I guess. Just about, maybe. Probably not. I don't know. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to give the stream a like. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're only around here. Walker and Neto out for James and a 4.9 million midfielder. Yes, I guess that's okay with 2 free transfers, but I wouldn't go 4.9. I would just go 4.4 and just kill that spot and just leave him on the bench every week, especially if you've got Andreas Pereira. Sterling a good shout for the next couple of weeks. I think with Sterling, right, he's always going to be a fairly good pick when Chelsea have got decent fixtures, but his price point just makes him very awkward. You've got to make quite a few downgrades to get him, and for that reason, I don't necessarily think it's worth it. I think, like, for example, in my team, if I could get away with Cancelo to a £5 million defender like Trippier or Walker, for example, and I wasn't heavily punished by removing Cancelo, then I could do Diaz to Sterling. But I think right now, Cancelo and Diaz is just better. And I think most people are in a similar situation where it's just a difficult price point. It's not that he's a bad option. It's just that he doesn't fit into our squads. And I think that could be the same. I think that could be the same for like a lot of this season. I'm not saying like I will never own him, but I struggle to see how I'm ever gonna fit him in. Unless players like Cancelo and Trent or whatever get injured, right? And then we've got a lot less money in defence. That could happen. Zaha or Bernardo? Zaha. Arav, thank you very much. Bench 1, Martinelli, Gross, Veltman or Jesus? Probably Veltman. Play all the attackers. Is Late Riser watching? Has he brought Darwin in? I doubt it. I doubt he's brought him in. I think I did see like the Anfield Watch say that it looks likely that Firmino will start again, but I don't think that's inside information. And I think that's probably. I think Firmino's played all right, so it's definitely possible that he will start again. But again, it's not leaked team news or anything like that. Zanka and Foden out, Saliba and Zaha in. I don't think this week is the week to buy Saliba. I would probably buy a Brighton defender instead. I don't know if you need to get rid of Foden either, but I guess there is a chance he's benched. Other than early team news, I usually find my second decisions are never good, i.e. captain switches. I know. Well, I know, but I think I don't know. Captaincy change to Haaland could be on. He's going to smash Villa, isn't he? He's already put up 1 XG or more in 4 out of 5 games so far. That's ridiculous. To be that good so quickly. Again, like I always thought he would be good. That's why I had him in game week 1. I didn't know if I thought he'd be this good. I'm more interested in inside knowledge on City than Liverpool. I'm sure a lot of people are, but you can't pick and choose who you get information from, right? You take what you get. I would love someone to tell me the City team news every week and the Chelsea team news, but unfortunately, that can't happen. I'm just looking now to see if anyone said anything. Also, I'm going to go back and block everyone that's given me bad team news, by the way. So just be careful. Just be careful. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to find stuff. Whoa, why is that just died? YouTube chat is just... Ah, for Christ's sake. This happened last week. For some reason, like, YouTube just crashes on me. Hopefully you can still see. Like, so the chat disappears, and so does all the... like, super chats and stuff. It's really freaking annoying. Now I've got to go and find them in the back end. Look, my captaincy arguments for Salah. I'm not going to keep going through them. Like I've answered that question so many times now in this chat. If you want to go for Haaland, go for Haaland. Honestly, it's not that. It's a really great choice this week. Really great choice. Okay, I'll try and. I would say with the super chats, I wouldn't. The internet's fine. It's a YouTube thing. I don't think the stream has crashed, has it at all? I'd say with the super chats, I wouldn't put any more in now. I don't think I'm going to get to every single one that's there. I'll do my best. Went for 3 forwards and bought in Mitrovic. Always going to bring him in from Gameweek 8 anyway. Not planning to wildcard till late. Yeah, Mitrovic is a good pick. Good pick. Solid. My internet's good now. I don't want to jinx it because we know what will happen. It will just die, but it looks good. Robertson and Archer to Saliba and Mitrovic. I think they're okay moves for 2 free transfers, but I wouldn't get Saliba. I would just get a Brighton defender instead. I just don't know if now is the right time to bring in an Arsenal defender with 2 away games next 3 and one of them being Man United. Just probably wouldn't do it. Bring in Man United assets such as Rashford or Sancho to replace Rodrigo. I probably wouldn't right now. I don't mind Man United as a punt in Game Week 8 against Leeds at home if you're going to wildcard in Game Week 9, but I probably wouldn't go there outside of that. Bench 1, Nico, Trippier, Gross, Martinelli or Diaz. Trippier? Probably. I think it's between Trippier and Nico Williams. I guess Trippier. So much advertising, Lars, thank you. Walker, Perisic to James and Sessegnon or Estupiñán. Look, I think Sessegnon is an okay, very, very short-term, 1-week punt for this week. If you bring someone in like Sessegnon this week, you are basically saying you're wildcarding soon. So if you're not sure about that, just get Estupiñán instead. Sanchez, Ray or Henderson. Sanchez, thoughts on Dallo? I just probably wouldn't go there. 2 free transfers, Robertson and Rodrigo out. James and Zaha in. Yeah, sounds okay to me. Or Trippier and Diaz. No, I think it's the wrong time to bring in Diaz. So I'll say James and Zaha in. Or Neto and Rodrigo out, Harrison and Gross in. I mean, it depends what kind of formation you want to go for going forward, Yogesh. But I'd probably say James and Zaha. You're thinking about taking the risk and bringing in Jesse Lingard before a wildcard. I mean, the fixtures are there. I'm just not massively convinced about Nottingham Forest players in general, to be honest. Keep Kane for 1 more week or just switch to Haaland. I have 2 free transfers and thinking to move on Robertson and Rodrigo for Trippier and Bernardo. I don't know about Bernardo, but I think you're better off dealing with Rodrigo and holding Kane for 1 more week, hoping that it goes okay against Fulham at home, and then looking to get Haaland in. But we know the risks associated with that, right? Haaland is very heavily owned now. Could absolutely smash it. Could be an issue. No. Cannot believe I sold James. Like I said on the video this week, I don't think the mistake was selling James. I think the mistake was also buying Gross, right? So I should have left my options open really for that. That was the biggest issue. Reece James starts. I assume he probably does, but I don't know for sure. Perisic out, 0.8 in the bank. Also have Foden, Nico bench. It depends if you want Perisic for the next few weeks after today. If you don't, you could sell him. But like playing Nico Williams and benching Perisic, I think is okay. As stupid as that sounds out loud when Perisic has got Fulham, if you think he's not going to start, Nico Williams will almost definitely start. So just play him. I think you've got him in your team. Yes, most weeks you're not going to play him, but it's an okay week to start him this week. Who to start, Estupiñán or Nico Williams? I'd probably start Nico Williams. I do think Brighton defence is pretty good this week against Leicester, but I guess I would never fully write Leicester off. I would never fully write off whoever I just... Leicester. God, I hope Salah scores this week. Can Salah go 3 games without scoring? Is he then definitely done? Would I then have the balls to captain him against Wolves? Maybe I would. De Bruyne to Haaland for a -8. No, I probably wouldn't do that. Start 1, Neto or Dunk. I'm going to say Dunk. If I take out De Silva, I have 6.2 million in the bank. Should I bring someone in? If so, who? If you're having to play De Silva and you've got 6.2 million in the bank, yes, you should definitely make a transfer. There's loads of options, so it's going to depend on who else you've got, what your long-term plans are. Wildcard, but Zaha, Trossard, Gross, these are all players that people are looking at. Saka maybe, not great this week, but good for the next few weeks and definitely better than De Silva. So if you're having to play De Silva with 6.2 in the bank, sell him quickly before the deadline. By the way, the deadline is in 15 minutes. Still not looking likely for Liverpool team news. So just bear that in mind. If you're thinking about what to do with Robertson, you're probably going to have to decide without the team news right now, because that's just the way it is. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. That's just the way it is. Bench Saliba or Perisic? Yeah, see that is probably Perisic. 5 at the back and bench Andreas, or 5 at the back. Yeah, I mean, if Andreas is the only one, then maybe you could just play Perisic, but I don't think he's going to start, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I should change Salah captain. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do next week, by the way. I'm more worried about next week. 2 free transfers, nothing to do. Could be Cancelo to James. We shall see. I'm doing Ward to Sanchez. Would you take a hit to do Gundogan to Gross? No. Perisic for Trippier. Probably just not take any hits, especially if you've got someone else you can play instead of Perisic. Who to start? Martinelli versus Perisic, Martinelli. Reece James or Trippier for Robertson, or bank the transfer? Reece James if you have to do it. I don't think you... The problem with Robertson is a lot of people think there's a chance that Tsimikas starts this week, but I just don't know, so I can't help you. So I'd probably just hold Robertson, I think. If you're going to make the move, I would definitely get Reece James ahead of Trippier, personally. I mean, the next 2 look pretty good for him. Don't you think De Bruyne is the best captain? No. Because if Haaland scores, I think KDB scores and assists. This is the thing that people have been saying this all season, that De Bruyne is a great option because if Haaland scores, De Bruyne will assist. But it's not De Bruyne that's going to assist every single Haaland goal. And for like the millionth time, a goal is worth more than an assist, right? So you shouldn't captain De Bruyne because you think he's going to assist Haaland's goals. You should captain Haaland, for sure. So I don't think that De Bruyne is a bad captain this week, but I don't think he's better than Haaland. Thoughts on Xhaka for Martinelli? Put Xhaka on the bench. I don't get it. Would you not just play Martinelli this week? I don't know why you'd sell Martinelli to bench the player you're bringing in, unless I've missed something. Zinchenko to Williams or to Dallo? Thoughts? Probably go Nico Williams. I'm tempted to captain Kane instead of Haaland. I'm going with your say who. I'm going to say Kane. But don't come crying to me if Haaland outscores him, because it could definitely happen. I got no team news. I got no Chelsea news. I got no Man City. I'd love Chelsea news, by the way. I'm not even bothered about Man City news. I want the Chelsea news because I want to know about Cucurella. But I guess I've just probably got to keep him, unfortunately. By the way, there's a few people that are sending me social media posts, either from players or teams. It makes no difference, right? A lot of social media teams, like for the actual clubs, they commission these pieces in advance, right? They don't do it based on who's starting. They haven't found the team sheet out today and then decided to create a really cool looking image. They've got someone commissioned to do that, probably days or even maybe weeks in advance. Probably not weeks, but days in advance. So don't worry about what social media clubs post on social media. When will I use my triple captain? Probably in a double game week. Andreas or Almiron or De Silva? Probably Andreas. Nico or Andreas first bench. Nico Williams. Ward or Sanchez bench. You can't play Ward ahead of Sanchez. Come on, got to play Sanchez. Ramsdale out. Raya in for the next few game weeks before a wild card. What do you think? I still think Sanchez is better than Raya, to be honest with you. I mean, Brentford's next 3 fixtures: Leeds at home, Southampton away. And then Arsenal at home, I'd definitely go Sanchez over Raya, to be honest with you. Ward or Ramsdale, Man United fan here. Probably still Ramsdale, to be honest with you. Probably still Ramsdale. You got to try and take out like that team bias if you can. It's difficult though. It's difficult for sure. Does Alvarez start? I'm going to guess probably not, but I mean he could do. I feel like I could just say that every single week for Man City. I guess the only player for Man City I'm fully convinced... There's two players I'm fully convinced start for Man City this week. Ederson and De Bruyne. Everyone else, who knows? I'm sure players like Cancelo and stuff will, but I think Ederson and De Bruyne is the only ones I'd put my money on this week. By the way, like I said earlier, I'd probably not put any more super chats in because it's absolutely mad, and there's still loads I've not done already, and we've only got 10 minutes to go. Bench Marseille or Aronson, probably Aronson. Got 2 free transfers. Do I play Gabriel or sell? Probably sell him if you can get James. That's who I would get. Trent, Cancelo, Walker, Cucurella, Patterson. Long term, which players should I transfer out and bring in? That's up to you. That's up to you. You need to think about your team a bit more. I can't tell you exactly who to bring in. I don't know who else you've got. Start Perisic or Neto? Probably Neto. Nico or Kyle Walker to start. Nico Williams. Perisic or sub in Nico Williams. If I've got Perisic and Nico Williams, I'm pretty sure I would be starting Nico Williams this week. Watching your Salah versus Haaland captaincy saga is great entertainment. Chucking this in as support for a Wicked YouTube channel. Thank you very much. What about no Salah and De Bruyne captain? If you've got no Salah and no Haaland, then yeah, De Bruyne is okay. Would you wildcard to avoid a -8 hit? Probably. Considering the international break coming up over the next few game weeks, unlikely mass sell. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be taking a -8 when you got a wild card. That's probably not going to be as valuable as it has been in previous seasons, like later on. I would also consider whether you really need a -4 hit. I really don't know whether to change the captain. I'm worried. I'm worried about Salah, and I got to be honest. It shouldn't make any difference, but I hate the fact he's playing first. I hate that. I wish they were playing at the same time. That would be, I wish they were both playing at 3 o'clock again. That would be better. If Salah blanks, like waiting for Haaland to go and smash it again is going to be horrible. Would you start Dunk or Aronson? That's probably quite close. I don't usually like bench and attackers, but I'd probably start Dunk, I think. We got like 8 or 9 minutes till we're locked. Just seeing if there's any. Yeah, Spy on Cop. They've not got the team yet either. Like I said, they won't get it until they get it from the media team, so they won't get it before. To make it worse, at 70 minutes we'll get City team. No, they're playing at 5:30, so the game will be fully finished before we get the Man City team news. I think I need two attacker returns from Salah though to even be able to enjoy the rest of the day. The way it's going to go. I'm thinking Ramsdale to Sanchez, Perisic to Cucurella, and Neto to Aronson from -4. I probably wouldn't do the -4. No, I would just hold Neto. Gabriel to Trippier have 2 free transfers using one this game. Yeah, that's probably an okay move for sure. Only because of the 2 free transfers. I wouldn't do it otherwise, I don't think. There's no way I'm doing match day challenge. No chance at all. I'm basically going to watch the first half of the Liverpool game, then I'm going to go and watch my son play football, and maybe not check my phone. We'll see what the score is. Start Martinelli away or Gross at home. I still don't think I would bench Martinelli, to be honest. Start Estupinian over Rashford or transfer in someone else for Rashford and bench Estupinian 1.8 in the bank. You could start Estupiñán over Rashford, yeah. I don't know. I don't like benching attackers. I would play Rashford. 1.8, you could get Zaha instead. I've run out of water. By the way, there's only 6 minutes till the deadline, so make sure you've got your captaincy, your transfers absolutely locked in. You think I'm stressed? I don't feel that stressed today, to be honest. I feel way less stressed this morning than the last stream. I'm not panicking, but like it's so tempting just to get thingy in, just to captain Haaland. Like he's gonna be so well captained. Like going against effective ownership like that is very scary. It's very scary. Like it nearly went really bad last week as well. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm wavering a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to change. I'm prepared. I'm prepared to take. I think the big worry is I know I got away with it a little bit last week, and I got a green arrow, but maybe it was a bit fortunate in the end. But then again, excuse me, Haaland isn't playing Nottingham Forest at home again. He's playing Aston Villa away. By the way, you're not boring me. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine what people are... Imagine at the start of the season if I told you people in the chat were saying don't risk going for Salah captain. Don't risk going for Salah captain. Is he that far down the pecking order now? Is Haaland that high up? Maybe he is. Maybe he is. But can you imagine saying that in game week 1? By game week 6, don't captain Haaland. It's too much of a risk. Sounds crazy. Everton have only conceded a goal a game and Liverpool have no midfield. Yeah, the midfield does worry me a little bit. I guess it's going to be Fabinho, Elliott and probably Milner. Which might not be ideal. Maybe I should change. I was on Haaland earlier. I can't get over the fact it's Everton though. They need an early goal. That's for sure. Oh, no way. Oh no, the Liverpool team news is not. I think for anyone that's waiting for team news, I think I'm going to get it today, but I don't think I'm going to get it till after the deadline. In which case, everyone else will already have it. I mean, it could be coming in at like 11:01, 11:02. I'm not even joking. In Salah's debut season, people were probably saying, don't risk captaining Alexis Sanchez, the circle is complete. Yeah, possibly. Liverpool have only won 1 on the last 4 at Goodison Park. Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I think Lampard could make it really difficult as well. But then it is Everton. They are bad. We're not locked in yet. We've got 2 minutes. You did make me look at the time, though. Rico Henry is an under-the-radar decent pick, thinking Trippier to Henry to fund Jesus to Darwin. I would not do that because Trippier probably is just as good as Henry, if not better. And I wouldn't sell Jesus for Darwin Núñez, who might not even start. Oh, Simicast starts, does he? Is he on media duty? Where are people seeing that? I'm just checking I'm locked in still. I've got Andreas ahead of Gabriel. Is that a mistake? That's my biggest worry right now. Is that a mistake? I don't see anything. I don't see anything about about Trippier at all. Not a thing. Not Trippier, Simicast, so I wouldn't worry too much. I literally see no early team news at all. Oh, it's fake news. Fair enough. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Gabriel replacement 5 million in the bank. I would just go for a Brighton defender. Last minute changes always backfire. Maybe. I think I'm sticking. I'm not enjoying it though. I'm really not enjoying this at all. I just need this out of the way. I need Salah to score a goal early. First 20 minutes, please. Oh. It's a differential. It's a differential. Erling will Haaland this week. I know. I'm sure he will. I'm sure if he gets another hat trick, look, you can put this down as one of the biggest mistakes in the history of FPL. Right, we're locked in, are we? We're locked in. We are officially locked in. Salah is captain. Oh my god. That's bad. He's got to score. He needs to score so early. Oh god, I hope Haaland I hope he's benched. I know everyone's gonna hate me saying that, but I hope he's benched. I really do. It'd be amazing. Be amazing. I need one or two things happen. I need Haaland to be benched or Salah just to outscore him anyway. So just that we can put to bed the idea that Salah is finished as a player. Both 2 pointers, that would be funny. Your timer is 20 seconds out. Possibly, yeah. I don't think there's much I can do about that though, to be honest. Unfortunately, there is not much I can do about that. Yeah, Diaz hat-trick, nothing from Salah. Oh, come on, Salah. Everton are going to do everything they can to make that game super difficult, of course, like they would against any top team. But I think like it's Merseyside derby, so I get why people are thinking shouldn't go for it. Oh, it does suck that they're not playing at the same time, though. It won't if Salah smashes it, of course, but... Yeah, if Salah's bench, fair play. That would be funny because he would definitely come on. Right. Please give the stream a like if you enjoyed that. Where's my thumb there? Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Apologies if I missed any of the questions. There was a lot that came in. It's just so busy. It's like 23,000 people watching at the deadline. It's absolutely mad. So apologies if I missed your question. Hopefully we covered a lot of it anyway with all the other questions we went through. Oh, okay. Not looking forward to it. Enjoy the weekend. Let's hope that Salah smashed it in the first game. If he blanks, you won't hear from me again until the knee-jerk stream. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you later on. Maybe, depending on what Salah does.